Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's talk about the JP users' impressions of the Dream upgrade. I wanted to do this before the live stream, which is going to be in about 24 hours. I should have done this a few days ago, but oh well. And if you have not watched the pinned video, which I'll put down below, where I go over the Dream upgrades, please watch that first. I still see some confusion about the difference between taking a unit to 140 the first time and then resetting beyond that, potentially 80 times. And then I'm not going to put anything on the screen. You can just treat this as like a radio show. But let's talk about the JP users' impressions in three categories. One, the effect that it is having on PvP, and then the different modes of PvP. Two, the cost of doing the thing, taking it to 140 and then doing the 80 resets. And then three, the differences in performance between level 140 units reset 0 times and level 140 units reset 80 times. And I won't go into any concrete numbers about the costs, since they might change it for global, but I'll talk in broad strokes. First, let's talk real quick about the effects on PvP, and this will be from the point of view of someone without Dream units going through an environment where people do have Dream units. In Arena, the least amount of change happened here because we can select our opponents. The old rules still apply, element advantage and then attack resistances and stuff. If you can get good advantages there, then you can have a chance against Dream units. Guild Battle, from what I hear, attack teams do alright, but defense teams that are not full of Dream units don't do well against Dream unit teams. But class matches, this is where the biggest shift happened, and non-Dream units or teams are so unviable that I hear of people just sitting out the mode until either big changes happen or they put together their own overpowered team. So for people that are very interested in the class matches in particular, maybe you really want to concentrate your Dream upgrades on your favorite team for that mode. Okay, next let's talk about the cost of doing the thing. If you go hog wild on the system, either horizontal or vertical, it's going to be super expensive. Otherwise, you will just have to wait a long time, even dolphins. By horizontal, I mean using lots of antlers to raise a bunch of units to 140. They do not hand out a lot of those, so you need to buy them, like part of a 2000 Vision Ore package, for like pulling a hatcher or buying materials. And by vertical, I mean using a lot of scrolls, taking a unit to 80 resets. To elaborate on resetting 80 times, we need more mind spheres to do it than we need taking a unit from level 1 to 120 in the first place. So overall, it's more than doubling the shard cost. Furthermore, it takes so much JP, job points, that it will take dozens of keys for one character. There is the JP exchange where we can move them from one character to another, but going through the Dream upgrade resetting thing, it runs out quick. And so materials that we have saved up for years get eaten up immediately, making us turn to the shop if we want to continue. And so, lower rarity or handout units like Lucio might look like they are good deals, but they still have a heavy hidden price which can affect our UR units. And so this makes it hard for us to choose the characters that we love best unless we give up on PvP. And with this having an investment, again, it makes more sense to choose the top tier meta units, and then that will homogenize the environment. And then there's the actual real life time investment of doing the 80 resets. I have heard 3 hours for one character of just hitting buttons, raising levels, checking stats, resetting, raising levels, checking stats, resetting, over and over for 3 hours. A few weeks ago, Mayachin, JP, War of the Visions YouTuber, began resetting our rarity Zazan, but was so turned off by the process that he just quit partway through, and we actually haven't heard from him since, not in like 3 weeks. Alright, then let's talk about the difference between like Dream characters and non-Dream characters, level 140 characters at 80 resets or 0 resets. The gains of the resets are purely in stats. So, what does 80 resets get us? In terms of PvP performance, the greater amount of HP translates to more or less being able to take another hit at the highest levels. It's only one hit, but in a brief battle, like in PvP, where so much else could be equal, that can make the difference. In terms of damage output, the higher attack or magic translates to taking down opponents in one hit less. Again, only one hit, but it can make the difference. And then you combine being able to last longer with hitting harder, and I think the advantage comes clear. It's not a super insane jump like 3 times more powerful or 10 times more powerful, but I still think it's a lot. And then, not to mention how higher stats also helps with evade, and so non-Dream units without 100% hit attacks or evade breaks might now be totally helpless against Dream evade units like Yuffie. And then like level 115 units, I don't think they have a place in PvP anymore at all, unless they are like pure support units. I still remember when level 89 units were just fine, how things have changed. And I've talked about this many times before, but power creep in PvE and PvP advance at different rates. PvE is in the hands of the developers. They make the content as hard as they want, but PvP is in the hands of the users. Whatever the strongest or fastest user does, whatever the strongest or fastest guild does, that is the new standard. And with the Dream upgrade, with potentially 80 resets, the new standard for PvP has made a significant leap forward as far as power and investment. So finally, let's think about what they could announce at the livestream to make the Dream upgrade less insane. I highly doubt they will do anything that will change the rates. That would upset the mega whales who already went hard on the system, maybe tens of thousands of US dollars deep. And as we all know, they are super important to the health of the game. The only thing I can imagine is a faster pace of the handout of materials, but rising waters raises all ships, and it will make the addition of Dream upgrade mean less. The playing field will be leveled yet again, but now there's just more busy work to get to that level. But yeah, the JP reaction to this new Dream upgrade overall has not been good. It's kind of the opposite of EX jobs. When they announced EX jobs, it was very unpopular, got a bad reception, until people actually got their hands on the system, and then they were okay with it. It wasn't that much of a jump. With the Dream upgrade, it was announced, and it was it didn't seem like that much of a big deal. It felt like a Mastery Ability 3, but then we got it, and it turned out to be really bad. And I think even the developers are surprised about kind of the continuing hatred for the system. Alright, but that should set us up for the live stream. Give us some context for maybe what we should be on the lookout for. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.